So it's the 4th of March 2020 and another huge day on the markets yesterday as the Fed came in with a, not exactly a shock, but certainly outside of its normal meeting 50 basis point cut on interest rates. And that led to a big move really on the markets. And in fact, I was actually in a meeting at the time when we talked about it, when it came out, we saw the big move up. I was thinking, ooh, really would have expected it to have gone up a lot more than that, straight on the knee-jerk reaction. But also, funnily enough, we're sitting there thinking, what's really half a basis point really going to do, or 50 basis points going to do? Is it going to get people out? Is it going to get people spending out of their house? Not really, when there's a threat of death amongst us. So it wasn't really much of a surprise to see that knee-jerk reaction then come flying straight back again. But what it did do was lead to some massive opportunity and movement in the markets. I'm going to go through some of the trades from yesterday's trading right now, and I'm starting off with the moves right after 2 o'clock. Really was when, okay, we had some opportunities earlier in the day, but to be honest with you, we're not really trading the Dow before that time. You can trade the DAX, you can trade other markets earlier than that, of course, but in terms of the Dow, 2 o'clock is when things start to really get moving as we start to reposition portfolios into the open of the US, which is 2:30 UK time. So 2 minutes past 2, where are we? Let's get to the opportunity on the open of this bar here. We had our first buy trade really for the proper session. Like I said, plenty of trades earlier, but you know, not really, you're really trading other markets at that time. And it's interesting at the moment. I mean, our default position on this is you go for a 30-point target if you're new to trading, or you run according to the arrow. The markets are different at the moment. You've got to adopt a slightly different way of thinking. What I'm going to do today is just look at the opportunity that was created. So I'm going to look at each move, each trade, and there was, seven textbook trades yesterday on the 2-minute charts on the Dow. I'm going to look at each of those and look at the opportunity, how much the trade moved before the sort of hard exit. The point really being that there is some significant moves happening right now if you're able to get on these. So here's a classic buy trade here. It's a buy dynamic trade. And the reason it's a buy is for a number of reasons, actually. Number one, we've got the arrow outside of this channel. So our normal range here, it's outside of that, which means we're looking for more of an explosive move. What we're always doing is buying in the top half, we're shorting in the bottom half. It's in the top half, so we've got an arrow pointing up, we've got these green lines here. We're in an uptrend, which doesn't really matter because we've got the explosive move, but either way, there's an opportunity to buy here. And look how the market moves. We're just going to run the trail according to the arrow as that kind of, safe exit if you want to run the trade, but a massive move. Even if you trailed according to the arrow, that was a big winner for us, but actually from here up to the high there, that was 180 points. Actually, that's quite small beer as the day carried on, and certainly in previous trades over the last week or so, but that was 180 points of opportunity over that next half an hour or so. That then fell into a sell trade, and look how low we are now selling. We've got another sell opportunity here. Why is it a sell? Arrow outside the envelope up here pointing down. We've then got an orange line here. We've got these red lines pointing to a downtrend, the trend in the middle pointing to a downtrend, the arrow pointing to a downtrend. So we're looking for confluence of indicators. Yes, we're selling really low, but that's okay. Low is a relative term, and actually, yeah, sure, that is low, but that was pretty low too. And actually, once the market stabilized, it carried on further down, and from here down to here, that was another 180 point move, believe it or not. There was plenty of profit in that level there to come away with for traders over that next sort of 20 minutes or so. Then we had that shock announcement, the 50 basis points cut for US interest rates led to a shock move higher, and really we were discussing just fade it, and that's really what happened. So whilst the market then had a big pullback, we then got our next sell trade away here, and again explosively suggesting outside the channel again, arrow outside here suggesting this market is going to have a bigger move. We're selling it on the open of this bar. Orange in the middle here, we're red lines here. You see the red and green lines, they're red. All of these things are pointing down. Down arrow, orange line, red lines. Bottom section of the channel, it's pointing to a next wave lower. Didn't happen immediately, so we're short from 26,624. Moves up a little bit and then down it goes. Big move, huge move. In fact, this is the biggest move for the day. So from that short from 352, that ended up falling 550 points on the Dow until closing out for around about a 350 point, whatever it is, point profit. Big wild moves, don't get me wrong, but we can get on these. And it's all about following these rules, okay? A 550 point move there. We then have to move on a little bit because until the next trade, which was at 17.18. And it was a sell trade here on the close of this bar. Again, looking for an explosive move, so trend is less important. This market could be a scratch trade if you trade the arrow, but there was over 100 points in it. So as the market's moving in your favor, you're going to start to move your stop a bit tighter and so on. If you're more experienced as a trader, you're certainly not going to let a 100-point profit turn into a loss, that's for sure. So it's a really good move again there. Next, we fast forward then to 17.56 and we have another wave down. And there's the sell on the close of this bar. Why is it a sell here? Let's get into it once again. The green lines, they're now red. We've got the orange line downtrend. We've got the arrow outside the channel as well, suggesting again an explosive move. We're in the bottom section of this price channel. We're going to sell low. We're going to try and buy it back lower. That's the point. We are playing momentum here. As the market then breaks down, significant fall until rallying to that arrow there. 300-point fall that was from the entry of that trade. A significant move. Worst case, closing out for around about a 200-point profit at that arrow. So the less experienced traders, that's where they're exiting. More experienced, they're going to be taking an exit that best suits their psychology, best suits their mentality really for trading. As we then move forward, we then carry on. There are continuation trades, but I'm not going to focus on those for this video. We then get a buy trade. Where was it? We then get a buy trade at 1942. So let me just find, no, sorry, it's a sell trade here, 1942 down here. This is a pretty smelly trade, okay? It doesn't really do much. I say much, you know, if you're going for 30-point targets, it's done it, but 30-point targets is not really what we're looking at the moment. So it ends up being a loss to that arrow, and that's a reasonable size loss. But you know what? We're getting reasonable size plus profits as well. So that's fair enough. But it does flip us into a buy. Why is this a buy now? Okay, uptrend. Arrow on the inside. So we need to be buying in this top section, this very top section, in line with the uptrend blue line here. So all roads are now leading to higher prices. There's the buy on the open of this bar at 25928 at 750. And boy, what a rally once again. That was a 270-point move after that original entry back from here. So from 25929 up to that high up to 26200. Massive moves here. And even if again you're following it according to the arrow, that is still a profit of around about 150 points in around 20 to 30 minutes. So doesn't matter which way you cut it, guys. There were some huge moves happening yesterday following a set of rules. Now, I appreciate that some of these rules may feel a little bit complicated at this point, particularly if you're new to trading and particularly if this is the first video you've seen of us doing this on YouTube. However, once you've got coaching, once you've got these indicators in front of you, and once you've got 16 hours of live trading room support, calling trades live, asking questions and so on, these rules become second nature, just like riding a bike. Riding a bike is pretty difficult when you first jump on it, but actually once you know the rules of engagement, it becomes a whole lot more straightforward. Trading is exactly the same. It's just a question of following the rules. All right, guys, I'm going to call it an end to the video now. Have a great week's trading, and we'll catch up with you again soon. Bye-bye for now.
If you would like more information about trading the right way, Trend Signal is giving you the opportunity to see and hear about its services live at a free online seminar. Take a look at the Trend Signal website for the latest events and to book your free place.